we are back. This is Matt.
And this is Katie. And this is Movies and Mischief with Matt and Katie. And we just watched Oxygen on Netflix.
The French sci-fi.
Yeah.
Starring the ethereal Melanie Laurent.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
The whole film centers around a woman who wakes up in a cryogenic pod. And she doesn't have any memories, she doesn't know why she's there. And by talking it out with the AI, whatever, that's supposed to be watching over her,
Cryogenic Hal,
we piece together who she is and why she's there. And that's all I'm going to tell you. So your thoughts? What do you think?
We watched the English dubbed version versus the subtitle version, and apparently it is a little bit different than, because of the translation and because of trying to match mouth movements to make it look as normal as possible. So we may have to watch it again in French. Without giving anything away, it's really tough to do a movie where it's pretty much one person. Mm-hmm. You see other people through memory, through some video, that kind of thing, but it's mostly on her. It's 98% her, and I think they absolutely pulled it off. It's so hard to talk about without giving any bit of it away. But really well done, really tense. Even though you didn't really know much about her going in, I felt like because of the way it started, you were already concerned and trying to solve this mystery with her of how she got there and who she is.
Yeah. I mean, this was a good old-fashioned, evenly paced sci-fi story. It almost felt like when you're reading some of those classic Heinlein or Bradbury sci-fi stories, just in the way it's all about the story. There's nothing flashy about this one. It's all about this story.
It's just isolation, claustrophobia.
Yeah. And the guy who directed it, Alexander Aja, who's one of my absolute favorites, he did a really good job of putting you in this pod with the main character. From the minute it starts to the way it ends, you're in this container with this character for the whole hour and a half, I guess. Yeah. It's really, really well done. And this movie would not have worked with a weak actress. I mean, no. Melanie Laurent was just phenomenal in relaying everything, all the emotion and the fear.
And all those layers, all those different levels of emotion from, everything.
Yeah.
From confusion, terror, anger, despair, hope, the whole...
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, this was just really good. And I really liked the story. You know, sometimes with these type of sci-fi films, they get a little too cerebral. Yeah. And they can get too smart for their own good. But this one, when the reveal comes out as to why she's there and what's happening, it all just makes sense. Yeah. I really liked this one. And I got to tell you, the dubbing part, I didn't even feel like I was watching a movie that was dubbed.
No, it wasn't. There wasn't anything jarring about it. Yeah, really.
I don't typically watch.
I did miss her voice.
Yeah, I did. She's got a wonderful voice.
But it was good. It was good dubbing. It wasn't one of those where it's like, oh my God, who did they find to do this?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was very. And I also note, typically, if it's a foreign movie, I'm going to watch it with the native language with the subtitles. I don't know why we decided to watch this one. Baxter, our dogs are going crazy. Baxter,
get out of there.
Baxter,
He stopped. You are a bad boy, man. We can still hear you, you know. He thinks that we're deaf and that if he does things
folks.
that we can't see him do, we don't know he's doing it.
So, yeah, Oxygen, it's on Netflix. This is a really, really good movie. I was in it from the get-go.
Yeah, because when she first wakes up, it's very akin to a birth kind of thing because of the outfit that she's in while she's been in this pod to keep her protected.
Well,
and you kind of feel like that you're seeing her, you know, kind of being born, and as she's slowly starting to try and piece together who she is, it does feel like you're watching an entire life in this very compacted.
And the visuals during the opening and the closing, really, like I said, Aja did a great job of putting you in this pod with this character because you feel the abrupt confusion when she first wakes up, and then you also feel this kind of calm, resignation when the the end of the film comes around. And I'm afraid I'm going to spoil something, so I got to shut up. But yeah, Oxygen is a really, really good flick. I was going to say about the dubbing, it was really, really well done because I was noticing even the moments, there's a lot of breathing. Yeah. It's a movie called Oxygen. There's a lot of breathing. Yeah. And even the voice acting was synced up perfectly.
And that panicked breathing.
Yeah, it was really, really well done. Netflix does a good job. There's another show I watch on Netflix, Kingdom, which I typically watch with the English dub because it's so well done. And that's I think it's a Korean show. But yeah, Oxygen on Netflix, really, really good flick. I suggest it, especially if you're a diehard sci-fi fan. I think this is a really good sci-fi story. And even if you're
not, because I'm not really.
Yeah.
And they can make me tense in ways that are maybe not intended.
Yeah.
And this didn't kind of have that extraneous, panicky kind of thing that I sort of get. It was contained to, I don't know if I'm explaining that right.
It's tense where it needs to be and at the level it needs to be. It doesn't go overboard.
Yeah.
And it's not flashy. This is pure character-driven sci-fi.
Most of it is just her in that pod. So you're getting these, just her face or long shots of her body up from her feet. And it's, the container is, she might have this much headroom. And that part was really well done because I felt like that could have been really messed up the cinematography because of that limitation of having her so enclosed.
There was a lot of directions this could have gone to make it a bad movie, but the direction of it was really well done and the acting was solid.
Yeah, you stayed in it the whole time.
Yeah. I had to pee, but I refused to get up. And that's a testament because Katie and I are watching a lot of these movies right now at home. So I could have paused it at any point, but I didn't want to. I was so into the story. I was just like, I'm going to hold it until it's done.
Yep.
And then I've spent 10 minutes in the bathroom. So, all right, guys, Oxygen on Netflix. We both really liked it. A little plug, Katie and I spent some time with our good friend Jay Tilley and Becca Harney. I'm sorry, Becca, if I screwed your name up. And Tice on their podcast Between Two Butts. On the podcast talking about various things, but mainly we were talking about the channel.
Between Two Butts, and we will be providing a link to the podcast. It was a lot of fun.
Katie's better at plugs for friend stuff than I am. I'm horrible at that, so thank you, Katie.
We'll post it, and we'll post it on the Facebook, just so you have it. No idea when that episode's going to air, but it's a lot of fun. The podcast is a lot of fun. Yeah, we had tons of fun. So on that note, as usual, please subscribe, click the bell, comment, let us know if there's anything streaming out there you guys would like to get our opinions on. And on that note, we're going to say goodbye. You guys have a good week. We'll talk to you next weekend. Bye.